I was gonna make this video maybe a couple weeks ago, but I felt like I wasn't fully ready to express how important this message is, and I hadn't fully captured what purpose truly meant. Now, for a long time, for months, I was trying to figure out my purpose, but it wasn't like I had no idea what it was. It was there, somewhere in the back of my head. But the annoying part was when I asked myself, what is my purpose? I can never express it into a clear sentence or paragraph. And I used to think that it meant that I was lost, but now I realize that I was thinking faster than I was living. And you'll find out what that means later in the video. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down what purpose is and how I understood mine, and why this matters, especially if you're a man trying to build a solid life. You are going to need a pen and paper. This is not one of them background videos where you can just listen to it. So do not half-ass this video. Yeah? Don't be doing something else other than giving your full attention to this video. This is hopefully going to be one of the most important videos and most useful videos of your life. Now, the real problem is that most people don't lack purpose. They lack stillness. And I told you I was going to tell you this earlier, didn't I? You think I lied to you, didn't you, cheeky boy? But the truth is, life moves way too fast, especially because of your phone. People wake up, what do they do instantly? They go on their phone, try and text their friends or their girl or whatever. Notifications constantly pinging, ringing at your ear. You scrolling on TikTok. Bro, tell me what you watched. Tell me the last 10 videos you watched on TikTok. Maybe one of them you'll know. Maybe. You're constantly being dragged forward without you ever stopping and asking yourself, where are you going in this life? And if your life never actually slows down, if you never take a breather, nothing important is going to resurface. It doesn't have space, it doesn't have time. And that was me. I had ideas, I had ambitions, and I had plans. I knew that one day I wanted to become a profitable trader. I knew that one day I wanted to start a YouTube channel where I teach people about self-improvement. But I kept delaying responsibility. I think, okay, cool. I know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to do it later. I'm going to plan it now, but I'm going to do it later. Action always came soon. Soon I'm going to do that. Come on. Do you think I did it? No. What? And subconsciously, every time you delay responsibility, you're telling yourself that you're not ready yet. You're not ready to be taken seriously. You're not serious enough. And I'm going to help you prevent that. Now, here's something that doesn't get said enough. And I'm probably going to start shouting at you. Purpose is not optional for men. I cannot emphasize that enough. If you're chasing something that does not help your cause to build your purpose, stop chasing it. If you're chasing these goals, stop chasing these goals, bro. They will not help you. Your purpose is the bigger reason of why. Why are you doing something? If you're scrolling on TikTok, yo, 99.9% of that content will never help you in life. When a man doesn't have direction, he doesn't become relaxed. He becomes restless. That energy goes somewhere, into the distractions, into the TikTok, into the video games, into all of the bad habits I could think of. That's where it goes. Imagine chasing money with no meaning, with no real purposes. What you can do with that money. Imagine chasing women for validation, numbing yourself with your phone, restlessly scrolling through content that has no benefit for you, and people only do it so that they can get a couple followers and views or whatnot. Now, obviously, man's here. That's not I'm doing it. I'm trying to help the greater good because that is my purpose. Now, you hear all this alpha male content, right? And with some stuff, I do agree. But one thing that I can point out is that masculinity isn't about dominance necessarily or aesthetics. It's about responsibility and direction. It's about taking action and making sure that your purpose is the center of your life. A man with no purpose is someone who distracts himself with false pleasure. That is a man who believes in instant gratification and prefers that over the true gratification that may be delayed, but over time will be the best form of happiness. Now, obviously, when I first started, I went through the phase where that I thought that, you know what, money is my purpose. You know, escaping the matrix, the financial freedom, the school system, whatever it is. And don't get me wrong, money matters. With money, you can do a lot of things. But money only answers what you want for yourself. However, purpose asks a much harder question. What impact am I willing to carry my responsibility for? What impact do I want to have on the world when I die? If the goal ends with you, it's not really your purpose. It's just your personal preference. Now, here's where we get the pen and the paper. If you do not have it, stop this video right now. No excuses. If you're not going to do it, you might as well not watch the video. Seriously, bake. And you're gonna answer this question right now. If you had more money than you could ever spend, if you are minted like, bro, you could buy the world, yeah. What would you still choose to do for free? Not necessarily what sounds impressive or will get you attention and approval, but what would you do when you wake up and you feel like this is what I want to do for the world? Make sure you write that down and pause the video. Cool. For me, it was teaching. It was YouTube. This is why I started this channel, to try and teach people on how to become the best version of themselves. Because me personally, I went through a lot of things. I went through a lot of hardships, and I had to figure them out the hard way because I was stubborn. I was very stubborn back in the day. I'm not gonna lie. I want people to understand about how their mind works, how bad habits really are for them, and how discipline actually is fun. Now, that didn't give me the full answer. Don't get me wrong. That question didn't solve my life, but it gave me a direction worth committing to. Purpose doesn't arrive fully formed, but it sharpens as you walk towards it. Yo, come on, man's a lyricist. What? What? Now, under that, you're gonna write a subheading. If I slowed down and actually reflected, dot dot dot. And now you're gonna answer these questions. Alright, yeah, cool guys. So long story short, I'm poor and I can't afford to get new storage. So my video stopped and I had to delete a bunch of stuff, but I'm back now. So under that subheading that you just wrote, answer these questions. What am I avoiding thinking about? And I'm gonna get into that a little bit later because I think that's probably one of the more important things that isn't really talked about. What responsibility do I keep pushing back? That's number two. And then number three is, where do I feel restless instead of actually feeling fulfilled? Now, let's talk about the first one. Why am I avoiding thinking about? For some people, that could generally be trauma. And let's go through this. If you just sit there, no technology, no nothing, and just stare at a wall, whatever emotion that comes first, whenever you think about the word trauma or pain, you fully haven't actually processed that emotion. And I know it sounds a bit mental and like you're swift, you're losing your mind, but it really is true. Ever since we were young, yeah, and we were crying or we were suppressed of our emotions, and our parents used to either just tell us to shut up or say, "Oh, it's alright, you'll be fine." Our basic instinct became to just ignore things, to just ignore the bad things that were going on in our existence. What that ended up leading to was the fact that you are not able to fully process your emotions. And it could be something as small as like you had an argument with someone. If you truly haven't processed it, there's something that will lead up to something wrong in your brain. Now, whatever it is, I just want you to just sit there and just let any emotion come through. And instead of you saying to yourself, "Ah, it's fine," or like it is what it is, or whatever like that, instead say to yourself, "You know what? I'm right." Imagine there was like the exact same version of you, but when you were younger. Imagine him pulling onto your shirt, complaining about how much life sucks, or something bad happened to him. He got in an argument with someone. How would you feel if you were the little kid and someone said to you, "Oh, it is what it is"? Now, as a kid, you'd be like, "But yeah, but it's not. There's something wrong." And we've been taught to actually take that and think, "Yeah, you know what? It is what it is." But that's not how we should be reacting. It's not how we should be feeling. Instead, you should be saying to yourself, "Look, Mini Swift, you're right." And just take a breather and just meditate on that thought. I call that the blank wall of trauma. You just sit, you just think about your emotions, and you say to yourself, "You're right," and you breathe on it. And that kind of helps avoid bad habits as well. If you're doing a lot of stuff, if you're just scrolling through TikTok because you pretty much hate your life, there's nothing interesting going on in your life, it's because of this trauma that you're having. Now, most people never process their emotions because they never stop long enough to bring them to surface, to actually meditate on them. If I tell you, "Yo, go, bro, go and journal," a lot of people be like, "Oh yeah, but it's for journaling is for pussies." Yo, bro, You've never done it, so just shut up, man. Like, reflection isn't for softies. It's actually how you regain control. Now, I told this to a lot of my friends. Journaling is the most important thing for a man to be able to understand where he is. Because if you do not have the time to be able to reflect on how your life is right now, how are you going to progress? Seriously, how are you going to progress if you do not know your past? You're too focused on scrolling or whatever it is. How are you physically going to be able to progress in life if you do not think about the past and reflect on it? Now, the truth is you don't need a perfect answer. You need honesty and stillness and the courage to be able to take responsibility before you feel ready. I've mentioned it in like I think my first video on how being ready is just bollocks because really it's you'll never feel ready. If you keep waiting for that moment, you'll never feel it. As a man, your purpose isn't something that you should be waiting for, it's something that you have to act upon as soon as possible. This is the best chance. Today is the best time that you can act upon it. Purpose isn't something that you wait for as a man, it's something that you build by choosing a direction and carrying the weight that comes with it. Slow down, reflect, commit, and that's how purpose stops being an idea and starts becoming real. Stop planning for your fall and plan for your flight. I'm going to be saying that at the end of every video.